Denial is that thing we do when we refuse to accept who we are. We were each born to come to the world to do something that would cause our lives to become great and wonderful and help our world do the same thing. But we also are meant to be very unique, and sometimes that can hold you back. It did me, and that's why I'm talking about it today. I put out something earlier where I said I was a freak of nature, and that was true for me, but it's, I believe, true for everyone because we're supposed to be different. But when we don't accept that, we don't evolve, and our world doesn't either. And that's what I was doing. And then you can kind of do things that just mess your life up. I just noticed that today because I had the messages that were supposed to be on the blog, and I looked later and said, oh, they're not there. I'm not very good with, don't love technology, I'm not good with it, and I should have other people doing it. But because I'm denying who I am, I put my life in a little bit of difficulty, as you might have done. We're moving through a real evolutionary time in our world, and so new things are going to come about. We're going to discover things about ourselves that we never knew. We're going to see things about others that we never imagined. But the point is to get us each to remember who we are and to decide that we're going to own our authentic selves and why we were born. And it's never going to look like anyone else, and it evolves over time. We evolve in our consciousness. That's the only place it takes place. But we must recognize it's been formed in different ways, which is why we keep going to courses and taking different things to kind of move through our blockages to figure out who we are. And I couldn't say that I wrote it all down because it didn't make sense to me, but I've done that. Today is the 20th of January. Tomorrow is the 21st, and last year on the 21st I received a message from Wilhelm, and I'll talk about that, but that message says, denial, your denial was worth it, because now I can let go of it, because I've been denying who I was. I've been denying what I was given and how it caused me to heal, and it could do it for anyone else, and it could also do that for our world. Everyone's not going to believe that. We will continue sometimes, many people will continue struggling and moving through things because they can't accept themselves, and that was me. But I can no longer do that because I know how valuable it will be. I look at the world and I know that if more of us could have remembered who we were, we would have a very different world and different lives, and that's what I'm doing now. But I'm going to give you those messages because I want you to see them. And then there's another one on the 22nd. It's called Morals. We're looking at the world now and wondering who has the morals that we want to live by. You do. They're within you, but that comes about when you remember who you are. But there's a wonderful message, and I'll give you that one as well, and I'll give you the blog. What I'm saying is this is what I'm changing, and again, I have to be completely honest because I've been screwing up so many things because I couldn't tell the truth. And truth is so valuable to me, and I'm not doing it. The fact is, I sat down every day for 37 years now and was receiving information, developed mind-body healing, understood consciousness raising. I developed a work that said it was the first verified consciousness raising system in history over all of these years, and I was denying it because I wanted more people to believe it, and that's not going to happen. And then I'm not putting the value on what this could be and what it could do for your life and our world because I'm holding back and denying who I am. We're never going to all agree on anything, but you have to agree with yourself because that's the most important thing. That's why you were born. And so I want you to see all the information because I am changing. I'm going to take this work much bigger now. I'm 75 years old. I've lived a lot of life. I've had so much experience in so many different areas, but then I get distracted and trying to do everyone else's stuff and meet with different people. I can't do that anymore because it doesn't make sense. And I keep holding myself back, and I don't want you to do that. So what happens in my work, and I just want to explain this so people understand, when someone goes through this work, they're dealing with any kind of blockage, any trauma, anything that has kept them from understanding how important they are. because we all have that. We all move. That's called transformation. That's what we do. And it occurs in our consciousness. We're not going to all believe in the same ideas, but you must believe in yours. What this work turned out to be, it uses science. It uses cognitive behavior training. It gives you an understanding of neuroscience so that you understand how you're changing your thoughts to change your behavior to create the life that you want to have. There's no reason that any person shouldn't have a really great career, but you may get bogged down because you've been taught that you couldn't do it or you're not enough. That's a change in your perception that happens through this work. And I could have never explained to you why it was working, and I probably still can't. But I developed a different ability. Let me just say this. People hear about channelers and all of that. I was not like the other channelers. I didn't do that. I didn't even make it public until just 6 years ago. That was the first time. Everything else I was doing in private for 37 years. But I was learning it all. I learned every single technique about moving through the trauma, about coming, because I cured incurable things, supposedly that's what they were. They're not. It's understanding consciousness. It's understanding your programming and deciding to move through it, and there are specific ways of doing it. And when you listen to the testimonials from people who did this work, you will understand they didn't know why it was happening for them. One person said, I thought something was wrong with me before I took this program. And the other person was moving through it, and they said they moved through something that they had been struggling with for 35 years, but this work helped them deal with it. And I've been doing it forever because I'm at 75. I can tell you I know it works. But the other part of this, I just got up this morning and I saw, they're probably billionaires. They said there's a 4,000% likelihood that the leaders will be billionaires. And what's wrong with the rest of us? It's consciousness again. And so we must change, and I haven't been helping, but that's what I'm doing now. But I wanted to tell you this because I said the other day that I have to change on Tuesday, and that's what I'm doing. Because I understand that if you look up shadow work, just do that. You'll understand so much more, because that's the thing that we all must move through to become willing to look at what's holding me back, what's blocking me. And it may be something you don't remember because you inherited it. You were programmed with it. This work changes that. And I have held myself back because I haven't finished it all, because I've done so much of this over the years, but that's what I'm doing now. But I got really frustrated with myself after I saw that last mistake. I go, you have to stop this. You'll do that too. When you'll look at something and go, okay, why am I still doing this thing? And that's what I'm changing now, and I would love for you to do the same thing. So, and then also, I'm working more with private clients because I'm seeing people who were paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to work with people to get them to understand who they are. I said, I can do that. Why am I not charging that? That was my programming. And so that's what I'm going to be changing. Now, again, I know a lot of people won't believe this. It was hard for me to believe that what I had done and what I had brought about, but it's here. And even though everyone was telling me for years how valuable this was, I had to break through my own limited thinking, which is what you will do as well. But now you have a way to do it. And I can say that because I know this works for any person. We're all the same. It's just understanding your soul. And when you go through the one that says, I'll give you one that says morals, you will understand what that means, because you internally, you know what's right and wrong for you. And that is why you were born. And when we let go of that, we don't live the lives we're supposed to have. But again, we have the programming that tells us sometimes we shouldn't be doing it. That's what I was doing. But now you have everything. This is why I wrote this article, and I want you to understand there are no limits to what we can achieve. I've proven it, and I want more people to prove that as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.